Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Madasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartikakara Manyan Asmad Gurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidparam. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. 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 Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padambujanmani Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmani. Ishvarah Sarveshvarah Sarvantaryami Sarvashaktiman. In the verse number 157 we saw Mayadinadi Mayadinaha Chidabasaha Shrutau Mayi Maheshwaraha Antaryami Cha Sarvajnaha Jagat Yonihi Sayevahi. The Upanishads point out that Ishvaraha is Adhishtatra of Maya, one who is the substratum of the function of Maya, is also the supervisor, Adhyaksha. Maya Adhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. So, therefore, he is Mayavi. Mayavi, one who has Maya, it's called Mayavi. Medavi, Meda means one who has Meda, memory. So here Mayavi, Mayavin Shabda become Pradama Vibhakti, become Mayavi. And then Mayi, Mayavi, same. Mayin become Mayi. Maheshwaraha, Mahaishwaraha, Supreme Controller. And then Antaryami. At the same time, he is one who is the inner propeller, inner controller. Sarvajnaha, all-knowing. Jagat Yonihi, womb of the whole world. Sayeva iti shrutau. In the same way, he is being extolled in all the Shrutis. So, we saw 158 also. Saushuptam Anandamayam. Saushuptam Prakramyevam Shrutirjagau. Esha Sarveshvara iti. Evam Vedokta Ishvaraha. Saushuptamanandamayam prakramyevam sutirjagau esha sarveshvara iti soyam vedokta ishvaraha. I think I referred to this point. Mandukya Upanishad has said, Esha Sarveshvaraha, Esha Sarvajnaha, Eshontaryami, Esha Yonihi, Sarvasya, Prabhava Apyayohi Bhutanam. It is said there. And in the Mandukya itself, it is said, Yatra Supto, Na Kanchana Kamam Kamayate, Na Kanchana Swapnam Pashyati, Tat Sushuptam. What is the state of, because here Anandamaya Kosha is the state of Sushupti, in a deep sleep. And here in that Yatra Sushupti Samaye, Sushuptau, Na Kanchana Kamam Kamayate. Nobody desires anything. And Na Kanchana Swapnam Pashyati. No kind of swapna is seen. Tat Sushuptam. Meaning what? There is no desire of the waking state or the mental activities of its own of the swapna also. Sushupta sthane eki bhutaha. In that very Sushupti sthane, eki bhutaha being one, prajnana ganaha. Eva Anandamaya Anandabuk. Anandamaya, one filled with bliss, Anandabuk. So, Saushuptyam Anandamayam Prakramya, starting from the state of bliss in Anandamaya Kosha, Evam Shrutir Jagau, Karana Sharirastha Ishvaraha. So why it is important at this point is that the one who presides over the Anandamaya Kosha exclusively, where Jiva is no more acting as Jiva. Because who is Jiva? One who has individuality, individual ego, pursuing one's own individual pursuits, expressing one's own vasanas, desires, thoughts, action, ambitions, likes, dislikes, wants, hatred, love, all these are all absent. So, Eki Bhudaha, their Karana Sharirastha Ishvaraha. Saha Ayam Ishvaraha Vedoktaha. That is what he says here. Yesha Ishvaraha. Who is that Yesha Ishvaraha? Karana Sharirastha Ishvaraha. The one who is remaining not anymore as a Jiva, but remaining himself in his Ishvaratva, Ishvara nature, Karana Sharirastha Ishvaraha Eva Saha Eva iti Veda Uttaha. That is what he said in the Vedas. Anandamaya So, Soshuptamanandamayam prakramya, keeping Anandamaya as the starting point, meaning that is where you can recognize that Ishvaraha is present without being acting as the Jiva there. Now, this is a discussion that is going to come. How that Ishvaraha, who is remaining in my mind, and everybody is in my mind, in my Karana Sharira, in your Karana Sharira, in everybody's Karana Sharira, one who remains becomes Sarveshvara. Because that is where we recognize the oneness between individual self and the Supreme Self. The whole idea of Vedanta is to bring that ekatvam of the Ishvaraha, Jiva Ishvara Aikyatvam is the point here that needs to be established. So, now the question is, my vasanas are my own. Your vasanas are your own. Everybody's vasana is individualistic, unique, and not my vasanas are yours. Not only that, my vasanas you don't know. My vasana and you start experiencing. There will be a problem there. Right? What is vasana after all is impressions of experiences. My experiences, what I have gone through this life and many lives, have become impressions. Experiences have become impressions when it is done with ego, and that has remained as my personality. And that I express constantly through many thoughts and actions and desires, etc. And that's why I am different from you. So the differences are there because of the differences of vasanas. Clear? Then, here when we say that Ishvaraha, who is sitting there or residing and presiding over the vasanas, is the same. This is what needs to be recognized, realized. Now, that is why we'll start with 159, where first he talks about Sarvajñatva. One by one he will explain what is Sarvajñatva, what is Sarveshwaratva, what is Antaryami. Each one has to be explained in three ways. Yukti, Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti. That's the methodology he will use. Through logic, through explanation of our experience, and then Shruti. In three ways only it should be explained, and it is necessary to explain that way. Now he starts with, now let us see, Shruti has already stated, Mandukya has stated, Sarvesha Sarveshwaraha Sarvantaryami Sarvajña. So based upon that, let us now take it up. Now thing is, Ishvaraha na pratyakshaha. This has to be first of all understood. Yat pratyaksham, whatever is that is a pratyaksha, it is obviously objectifiable, definable, knowable, gocharaha, indriyaihi va, manasa va, buddhya va, either by the mind or the senses or by the intellect, it should be, if it has become a gochara vastu, then only it is called pratyaksha. Paroksha is what is known as it is there. When it is experienced or known by me through any of the kayena, manasa, vacha, buddhya, then it becomes pratyaksha. Ishvaraha tata prakshabtyam nabhavati. In the same way, he cannot be a pratyaksha. Just because he is not a pratyaksha does not mean he doesn't exist. This needs to be understood. Just because a thing is not pratyaksha, you cannot say it doesn't exist. Because drigeva nadu drishyate. That's the logic here. Yad drishyam, rupam drishyam, rochanam drik, tad drishyam, draktumanasam, drishya divrittaya sakshi, drigeva nadu drishyate. So drik na drishyate. Yadyapi pashyati. Na drishyate parantu pashyati. He cannot be seen, but he sees. Is it not? Buddhi also we have not seen, but Buddhi is perceiving the mind. And Buddhi is also known through the Sakshi Paramatma. That Sakshi Paramatma can be seen by whom? Because Buddhi is already low. Buddhi has become objectified. So only the subtler part, subtler aspect can know the grosser one. The objectified one can be known by the one which is not yet objectified by that object. If you are confused, I am very happy. Now, object cannot see me. I see the object. Object is objectified by that which is not objectified by the object. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, eyes are objectified by the mind, but mind is not objectified by the eyes. Now, mind is objectified by the buddhi. Buddhi is not objectified by the mind. Again, buddhi is objectified by the sakshi. Sakshi is not objectified by the buddhi. The buddhi is wanting to know, buddhi is trying to do the pratyaksha. Up to that point you go to make it as a pratyaksha. When you can't do that, it doesn't mean it is not there. Why? Because the very fact that it is objectified. What is objectified? That which you are trying to use as the means to know is already objectified. That which is that means to know, buddhi, itself is objectified by that. And being subtle with the buddhi, you cannot objectify the subject matter. Therefore, through anumana alone, you will understand its presence. This must be understood. Therefore, your logic should be used not the way you use the logic of all other things. This is objectified, therefore it is there. Object is there because I have objectified it. Correct? And then eyes are objectified, therefore eyes are there. Mind is objectified, therefore mind is there. Buddhi is objectified, therefore buddhi is there. But then, Atma, Drik, not objectifiable. So, would you apply the same pratyaksha pramana here? Cannot. So, pratyaksha pramanena na ishwaram pratyaksha rupena darshitum na shakyate. Drashtum na shakyate. So, the logic that has to be used is based upon Shruti. Now, with that understanding, we'll go here. Sarvajñatvadike tasya naiva vipratipadyatam shrotartasya vitarkyatvat Mayayam sarvasambhavat Sarvajñatvadike tasya naiva vipratipadyatam Shrotartasya vitarkyatvat Mayayam sarvasambhavat. Sarvajñatva adi. Sarvajñatva, Sarveshwaratva, Sarvantaryamitva, Ityadike, about these things which are said in the Shruti, Shrotartasya, Sarvajñatvadike, Sarvajñatvadike, Tasya, Shrota Artasya. Tasya Shrota Artasya, meaning what is spoken in the Shruti regarding the nature of Ishvaraha as all-knower, etc. Naiva vipratipadyatam. Vipratipatti means one meaning opposition. Pratipatti, acceptance. Vipratipatti means non-acceptance. But in this context, it is tarka. Vipratipatti means tarka. Opposition in the form of logical reasoning. In that way, through the logic, na vipratipadyatam. Do not use that logic here. Naisha tarkena matirapaneya. That is said here. Shudimada tarkaha anusindiyatam. use the tarka used by the Shruti only. Buddhajanehi vada parityajadam. But the men of knowledge do not do vada, because their understanding of the reality is not because of the fact that the Atman can be objectified. Objective is objectifiable, not objectifiable. Vachoha vacham, chakshushas chakshuhu, shrotrasya shrotram, manaso manaha, pranasya pranaha, iti eva jnatum shakyate. It is not, Kenopanishad very clearly said, by no other way the teacher can explain that. When it is asked, kene shitam padati preshitam manaha, kena prana pradama pradyuktaha, kene shitam vachamimam vadanti chakshushrotram sau devo yunakti. Answer is shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat vachoha vacham sau pranasya pranaha chakshushas chakshuhu adimuchyadiraha pretyasma lokat amrita bhavanti na tatra chakshur gacchati na vak gacchati na manaha na vidmaha na vijanimaha shishya. Therefore, whatever is being taught to us, we just pass it on to correctly. So, whatever is already been spoken to us. So, here, because what? Shrotartasya tasya sarvajñatvadike naiva vipradipadyatam. So, Ishwarasya sarvajñatvadi guneshu na vipradipattim kuru. Do not engage into the argument, because argument is about, logic is all about, the logicians all about asking you to explain it in the pratyaksha form. Because that is the methodology. They say you have to show the existence of a thing as available for us to comprehend. But that is not possible here. So therefore, Shruti arthasya avitarkyatvat. ये तर्क से होना नहीं, हो नहीं सकता है, because Shruti Vakya is atarkyam. See, even as we know, tarka will definitely helpful for us to understand the logic of unreality of the world. We can prove the unreality of the world. That is being proved even by the scientific world today. But unreality of the reality, absolute, which is not perceptible, cannot be falsified. The reality of the absolute cannot be falsified. Why? Because you cannot deny the subject which is hidden from the object that is being supported by the subject. Without whose presence the object doesn't exist. When he said chakshushas chakshuhu, what does it mean? Eye of the eye. What does it mean? Eye of the eye means without that eye you cannot be. Yat chakshusha na pashyati yena chakshumshi pashyati. ये चक्षु का आधार है, अधिष्ठान है. जो अधिष्ठान है, what is a substratum without which the supported cannot exist? Therefore, it cannot turn around and ask the question, can the pot deny the existence of the mud if it doesn't know? मुझे पता नहीं है मैं कौन हूं. So everybody says I am mud. It is like the fish sitting in the water is looking for water. I was told that the water is there. I know what is water. If that fish is wondering about the existence of water, then what would anybody else would say? Your question of what is itself is a problem. What is water? That what is the problem? Not water is the problem. Because it moments it tries to understand, it has to detach itself from its substratum. Moment it resides from substratum, it doesn't exist. Gurudev used to say, the battery is there and the lamp and the bulb is trying to understand the battery. It turns around, it doesn't exist. To know it. So, avitarkyatvat, being not arguable. This is the first reason. The first reason he gives is Shrautartasya. Shrautartas means yat shrutya katitam. Yadartam shrutya katitam. What is spoken in the Shruti, what is stated in the Shruti, vitarkyatvat, vigadatarkyatvat, atarkatyvat, in other words. It is not arguable. So, Shruti Vakyam avagamaya tarka prayogam na kurya. Shruti Pramanam avagamaya tarka prayogam kuryat. To understand what is there in the Shruti, use the tarka. Not to question the very statement of the Shruti. To understand the statement of the Shruti, use the tarka. So that's why Shruti Matas Tarko Nanasandhiyana. Taking the Shruti statement as valid, how it is, for which you lose the logic. Not to question the very statement of the logic. I mean, statement of the Shruti. The logic should be used to understand the statement of the Shruti, not to question the statement of the Shruti. So that is why it is said, avitarkyatvat. Because that is not subject to argumentation. This is one reason. What is it? That do not question or argue the statement of the Shruti, which is speaking about the nature of the Ishvara as Sarvajnaha, Sarveshwaraha, Antaryami, Ityadi. Second thing is, Mayayam Sarva Sambhavat. The thing is, we have already proved to the point. Maya ko janna nahi sakta hai. Why? It is anirvachaniya. It can do anything. So you understand that Maya is capable of what is incapable. Maya can do things which you don't even can think of. What is impossible is made possible. That is the nature of Maya. And you cannot predict how it works. Sometimes it is, sometimes it is not. By the thing you think you know it, it's other way around. That being so, the Ishwaratva, that's why Bhagavan himself said, Sambhavami Atma Maya. Ajopisan Avyayatma Bhutanam Ishwaropisan Prakritim Swam Adhishtaya Sambhavami Atma Maya. All of us come to exist because of we are born, right? Born out of our own parents. So we can go for the lineage. My parents has got their parents and then their parents and their parents. So there is a reason, or we can say I am born and I know my birth is because of the parents who gave me the physical birth. Also, it is said, if I believe in my philosophy of Sanatana Dharma, my karma is what has made me what I am. So I can understand my birth with a reasoning. But Bhagavan says, Ajahapi. I am unborn, you see. Avyaya Atma, imperishable I am. Bhutanam Ishwarahapi. I am the Lord of the universe, yet you see me as what? Standing in front of you. Ajo Visan Avyayatma Bhutanam Ishwaro Visan. Swam Prakritim Adhishtaya. I hold my own Prakriti myself. Sambhavami Atma Maya. By my own power of illusion, I come to manifest. Janma karma cha me divyam. Yomam. The one who knows my janma and karma as divyam. Such a person alone will be released from all the bondages of action. Anyway, so here, Mayayam Sarvasambhavat. It is possible by Maya. So that's why whatever is happening in the world, so many things are, so many unrest and so many things. And Dubai has got a rain. Mayayam Sambhavat. You can only say Mayayam Sarvasambhavat. What you can't understand, you always accept that. Possible. Yeah, that is possible. Huh? One who thinks that who is the most pure person also can fall down. Or the most atrocious person also can become a saint. All possible. Mayayam Sambhavat. So therefore, continuing here, Ayam yat srujade vishvam tadanyayitum puman tad anyayitum anyatayitum. Okay. Tad anyatayitum puman anyat nakopi shaktastenayam sarveshvara itiritaha ayam yat srujate vishvam tadanyatayitum puman nakopi shaktastenayam sarveshvara itiritaha yat ayam vishvam srujate. Yat means yat bhuta yonihi, yat yonihi, yat bijaha, that very bijam, the very seed or that very source, ayam vishvam srujate, creates this universe. See, any creation happens based upon certain conditions. Anything that is created is subject to certain conditions. So when I create, let us say a pot maker makes a pot, he has obviously used the mud as the upadana karana and his own skill of making as a nimitta karana, right? And used the wheel, etc., and he made the pot. Now the pot, mud pot, has to remain as mud pot only, not gold, and remains as a pot so long as the shape of the pot is there. You cannot be something else. So first one is made of mud, cannot be gold, cannot be silver, cannot be plastic, cannot be glass. ये उसका नियम है. नियमात सृष्टि. This is to be understood. Anything that is created under certain conditions. Anyatayidum na shakya. Nobody can make it different from what it is. So this creation, Ayam Vishwam, Yat Shruta Srujate, the one which creates, that one has put the limitation to it. That cannot be changed at all. Now, if in this example of mud pot, we can simply see it. What? It cannot be anything else. It cannot be gold or anything else. So now expand that same idea to next level. Whatever is created in the universe must follow some maryada. Maryada means what? Maryada literally means limits. So ocean has a limit. It cannot cross over that limit. This is maryada. It is its limit. Earth has to be of this condition or this nature. It cannot be anything else. Earth has to be earth, water has to be water, fire has to be fire, air has to be air, space has to be space. It cannot be otherwise. Who creates the limit? One who created. Yahas yat srujate, स एव तदेव नियामकः अपि। तो नियमनम करता है वो नियामक है, उसका नियमनम जो है उसको अन्यथा अन्यतयुतिम न पुमान कोपि शक्तः। तद अन्यतयितुम अन्यथा कर्तुम पुमान कोपि न शक्तः। No person can do it. Interesting thing is, all other living beings remain quietly following this. The human beings, whatever limit is there, I want to prove otherwise, only to understand that it's not possible. Of course, the limit has to be reached. See, the point is, human beings do what they do, they want to see the limit. Not probably they try to destroy the limit or go over the limit, but then at least they attempt up to the point of limit, and that's where they excel. How much I can go? Let me see. Even the creation of all the telescopes, etc. Then how much I can see, I want to see that. Only to know there's much more. Okay, let me go further. Much more. It's like Bhagavan is playing. How much you can come? Let us see. How much you can reach me. Try. Come up to this point. Okay, try more. It goes on. You can expand yourself. But there is a point where na anyatayatum shakya. You cannot. That's why Bhishasmat Vatapavate. Why the wind has to blow? That is niyama. Bhishat Udedi Surya niyama. You have to. Surya has to. Udayam of the Surya has to take place. Bhishat Indrascha Agnischa. Indra also, Agni also, and all other gods. All of them engage in their actions because it is their niyama. Condition created by the one who created. Nako Bishaktaha Tena, because of which, because the very fact that he has given that limit, control, therefore, ultimate controller is the one who created the control. Tena Sarveshwara iti idita. Therefore, he is referred as Sarvasya Ishwaraha, meaning one Niyamakarta, one who brings about the limit of everything. Meaning that cannot be crossed, transgressed. It cannot be transgressed by anyone. That is the idea because of which iti irita means katitaha. Shrutau katitaha. It is spoken in this Shruti in that way. Because Bhagavan also says, Jatasya dhruvo mrityuhu. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Both are limits only. See that. Jatasya mrityuhu dhruvaha. And then mritasya jananam dhruvaha. Anything that is subject to death is subject to birth. It's a niyamana. Anything subject to death is subject to rebirth. This is a niyama created by the creator, and that nobody can cross unless he wishes. That is the reason why he is referred as Ishwaraha, Sarveshwaraha. Sarvasya. Sarvasya means Sarva Jagataha. Sarva Srishti Jatatsya. Anything that is created, for that he is the Ishwaraha, the controller. This way we should understand what is said in this Shruti as Sarveshwaraha iti. Now, as we saw, the residing place of this Ishvara is where? Now it is see, interesting thing is, he is residing in the Vasanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, Ananda Sharira of all beings. Kshetrakyam chavis mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. I stay in everyone. Now, Gita and Upanishad, they don't go far. They just bring this idea very close to each other. So, where does he sit there? He is the one who is present in the Vasanamaya Kosha. That very presence of the Ishvaraha there is very significant step in Vedanta to make Ishvara have the quality of Sarvajñatva. If it is an external presence, external presence means somebody outside, somebody is outside, cannot know what's going on in your head. Right? So to know what is going on in your head, where you should be? To know what is going on in everybody's head. It has to be there within only. Ashesha prani buddhinam vasanas tatra samstitaha tabikrodikritam sarvam tena sarvajña iritaha. Ashesha prana buddhinam vasanas tatra samstitaha tabikrodikritam sarvam tena sarvajña iritaha. Ashesha prana buddhinam, prani buddhinam. Ashesha prani, sakala prani, sarva prani. Ashesha, leaving nothing behind. Sarva or sakala prani buddhinam. Praninam buddhinam. Praninam buddhihi, tena. So, praninam buddhihi means the very mind here, not buddhi here also, antakarana, because we cannot say pranis, all pranis have got buddhi. So here buddhi means this subtlemost nature of comprehension of all beings. A plant also has got a ability to think, but to very limited extent. It knows it needs water, it knows it needs sunlight, so it has to look for it. That is a buddhi. Why it is called, that also is a prani. It is not prani, the prani is one thing. Because it breathes, but it breathes and also it knows I have to breathe. Meaning I have to survive. For survival I need water, I need sunlight. So it will look for sunlight. And if it cannot, it will die, obviously. Sunlight and water is not there, it will die. So it will try to survive. So it is said in many forests which we see, if you go to any a forest where a lot of trees are there, it is said that under the earth they are all connected and they all communicate with each other. If there is one place where there is a trouble comes, immediately all the trees know, oh, there is a trouble coming up. So they all are connected and communicating below. And when plants, they have flowers, they say the smell of the flower is a way to communicate to another flower. They know by the smell, oh, there is a dangerous set of bees are coming in. So close down the shop. All of them close down. Because they communicate with the smell. So interesting. And actually the smell of the flower is what makes the bees come, and then they go from one to another, because that's this season. So that season they all start to smell. Then they know, oh, okay. We have to now. Are we study ready? All of you ready? Okay, let's start the Vasanta. Let's all start the process. So this way, they all have ability, buddhi. To that extent, they have buddhi. Of course, the other The what call other animals, mammals, and others also have their own limited number of amount of intelligence to protect themselves from danger. They create their own family unity. They create their own gang also. They communicate with them, making sure that their set of people are protected from others. Those are also there. That Buddhi said, and human beings, we cannot even talk about that also. So, Ashesha Prana Buddhina Vasanaha, all those beings in their own subtlest point of their existence, what they have is vasanas. Where in all of them there is Anandamaya Kosha. Even plants do sleep. They also withdraw their sense faculties of doing all those activities of whatever they do to exist themselves, express themselves during the day, etc. When it comes to the time of night, they all sleep. That's why they said that you should not pick the flowers when they are asleep. You cannot. It will be disturbing their. Therefore, we should not do the plugging of the flowers, etc. Or even watering the flowers. Plants are okay. Early morning is good, not in the middle of the night. So they will wake up. Why are you doing now? I am sleeping. So it is vasanaha tatra samstitaha santi. And now the vasanas that are there in individual beings makes the individual being, right? I am, as I said, I am who I am is because of my vasanas. So those vasanas are there expressing as desires and then thoughts and then actions. But this desire, thought and actions are happening only when I am awake. Or even Swapna, it comes in the form of certain amount of thought process. But I express themselves, my vasanas, pretty much during the state of waking. But in the state of deep sleep, they are unmanifest. Avyakta, that's why called Avyakta Rupa it is. It is remaining in the unmanifest condition. So, in the unmanifest condition, they are not available for me to comprehend. I don't know. Even how many vasanas I have and how many of them want to come to manifest only I know as desires. So many of them are already there and not manifest because this body is not capable of doing that. That I will never know. Even the whole life I won't not know. No, I like to eat fish when I was a shark. I can't do it now. It doesn't have, I do not have that sharp teeth to do that. I eat, some what you call weeds and other weed, but not that weed, seaweeds and all that. So I can swim. I never know how to swim also. This body presently is not, but there I go deep sea diving and all that. So all those vasanas are still there. We never know what are there. Right? But those vasanas, whether manifest or unmanifest, it is there in all of us. So the one who is staying in the vasanas, does he not know all the vasanas there? So vasana tabihi krodibhut kritam. Krodi means crowded. Krodikritam means one who is fully aware of that. Samashti karana sharira abhimani rupena. He becomes a samashta karana sharira abhimani. Ishvara is what? Karana sharira abhimani, not ekasya. Sakala. Ashesha prana buddhinam vasana tatra samstitaha tabihi kraudikrutam. He is the one who is aware of, not only, see, I am aware of my vasanas when they are manifest, but I remain unaware of my vasanas when they are unmanifest. But the one who is very much there in the Karana Sharira is aware of those even unmanifest vasanas, not only mine, being same in all, aware of all vasanas of all beings. And as I said, vasanas are what? Impressions of my experiences. Actually, vasanas are in the form of jnanam only. Because what is remaining as impressions are my knowledge. What is my knowledge base? What I studied. Correct? So what I studied is also there only. In the Vasanamaya Kosha only, whatever I have gained as my knowledge base is also sitting there. Because that alone is expressing as my individuality again when I wake up. So whether I know math or science or any other things, that also are experiences, and those experiences have left behind impressions. Those are also present in the same Karanamaya Sharira, Karana Sharira. So therefore, he, the one who is sitting there in all living beings, Sarvam Janati, meaning Sarva Bhutani, Sarva Buddhinam Vasana Tatra Samstitaha Tabi Kraudi Kritam Swayam Jnanam Kritam Swayam Janadi Saha. This is the reason why Bhagavan Krishna already is saying Vedaham Samatitani. I know what has gone by you. All beings. Vedaham Samatitani Vartamanani cha Arjuna Bhavishyani cha Bhutani. Bhuta, of all the living beings, there Samatitani Bhutani, Vartamanani Bhutani, Bhavishyani cha Bhutani, Aham Veda. मां वेदन कस्य मुझे कोई भी नहीं जान सकता है. So I know the past of everyone. Meaning what? Past is where? Past is somewhere else in the calendar. Past is in our head. Whatever I have gone through in the past, where is it staying? Where is the impression of it? What is past? Impressions, right? Past is nothing but the impressions of the past. When I say my past, where does it stay? In my Karana Sharira. So he is sitting there, he does not know my past. And not only mine, is Sarva Bhutanam. Aham Veda. Vedaham Samatitani. Some Atitani. Atitani means pastani. All the past of all living beings. Vartamanani, present. Bhavishyani. And how do they act in the future? Based on what? What they have gathered as impressions of the past and what they are now gathering as the present. Only with that base only they will act in the future, right? So would I not know what they will do in the future when I know what their knowledge base is? Can a person who has never studied law will become a liar in the future? How? Presently is not learned law. Past is not learned law. How will become a liar? Sorry, liar. Now, how will he be in the future? How will he be if he has not gained that knowledge? So, what he would be, would I not know? What he was, would I not know? What he is? So, kya hai wo? Sarvajna hai. That's why, therefore, tena tasmat सर्वज्ञः इति ईर्षा. इसलिए उसको सर्वज्ञः इति श्रुति कथितः. श्रुति says him as सर्वज्ञः. So this is very interesting. So it's a logic that is used, tarka is used to prove what is said in Shruti. That's why it said Shruti matas tarka hai. जो श्रुति में पहले कह चुका है, it is already said, Now, it is to prove that point the tarka is used, because that is a way to explain correctly that what Shruti says is not a blind statement, how it is true and why it is said that way. That is explained in by the Vidyaranya too. Because you can start suddenly, yes, Sarveshwara, Sarvajnyaha, Sarvantaryama, that much ho gaya. But how? Somebody asked that how? Then there was an answer. Have a nice time. How? You have to ask how. Tell me how. I can have a nice time, but you tell me how. So, that is the reason why Sarveshwaraha Sarvakshetreshu Sarvajnyaha. Because Kshetrajnam, when he said, right? Jna, Janati, right? Kshetram Janati. Kim Kshetram Janati? What is the Kshetra he knows? What is Kshetram? All inert things are Kshetram. Buddhi, Manaha, Sharira, all of them are Kshetram only, right? It's not only the body. Them Shariram, when it is said, Stula Shariram va, Sukshma Shariram va, Karana Shariram va. Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram Ityabhidiyade. That's why he explained even thoughts also, emotion also. These are all considered as Kshetram. Because he will explain in the 13th chapter, when I say Kshetram, what I mean is, I mean the bodies, I mean the senses, I mean the thoughts, I mean the emotions, I mean the vasanas. So, Sarvasya Kshetram or Sarvakshetram Janadi Kshetrajnyaha Ekaha Tasmat Sarvajnyaha Aham. So that is why I become the Sarvajna. Dishwaraha. So that is how it is proved in the Shruti. Continuing, okay. Vasananam parokshatvat Sarvajnatvam hi ikshyate Sarvabuddhishu tats drishtva Vasanat swanumiyatam Vasananam parokshatvat Sarvajnatvam nahikshate Sarvabuddhishu tad drishtva Vasanat swanumiyatam. As I said, Vasana, even in me, is paroksha. Until it becomes a desire or a thought in my mind, pratyaksha it does not become. As I said, how many vasanas I have, I myself do not know. Until it becomes objectifiable experience as a thought or a desire. Right? How many vasanas you have? Tell me. I don't know. What I know is very limited. What I don't know is more. So what is known is pratyaksha. What is known, unknown is apratyaksha or paroksha. Paraksha means I know it is there. I don't know what it is. जो ये वासना मुझ में है वो भी मैं नहीं जानता हूं. क्या करें? आपका वासना मैं जानता हूं क्या? I don't know. Unless you express it. Your own children, what vasanas they have come into this life, you don't know. Until they start expressing, अरे बाबा ये ऐसा वो ये राक्षस हो गया. ये राक्षस तो कहाँ से आया उससे? मैं तो खुद राक्षस ही नहीं हूँ. वो मे बी वो राक्षस हो सकता है. मेरा पति ना हो सकता है कि वो परंपरा ऐसा ही. So parokshatvat vasananam parokshatvat sarvajnatvam of the Ishvaraha na pratyaksham na ikshat. You cannot see it. So sarvajnatva of the Ishvara you cannot be comprehended as a pratyaksha. How can that Ishvara in me can be Sarveshwara? How can the Ishvara in me can be Sarvajna? Kaisa ho sakta hai? A, you cannot pratyakshena na jnatum shakyate. That is not possible for you to comprehend. You try to understand that, you cannot. The one who is sitting here is the one who is sitting everywhere and knowing everything. उपदृष्टानुमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तः. Complete. देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः परः. अस्मिन् देहे पुरुषः परः. But upadrishta, watching closely, anumanta, bharta, bhokta, parameshwara. Asmin dehe. Paramatma iti cha vikukta. Dehe ismin purusha paraha. So see, the Gita is pointing out that देव जो है आपका शरीर में, वो जो देखता है, constantly watching you, allowing you to do what you want, supporting what you're doing, because he's a vasanas adhishta, adhipati of the vasanas there. By allowing the vasanas to express, because he wants you to experience your vasanas and overcome that by correctly using it. So he's seeing it, watching it, allowing it, it's sitting in your own body, referred as Paramatma. He is Sarveshwara, Sarvajna. Pratyakshena na avagamyate. We'll see more of it. Sarve na hi ikshate. It can be understood as an objection. That's a question, but it's not a question as an objection. But it is, if it is not available as Pratyaksha, what should we do? How do we understand his presence? Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. We will have next Sunday also. I think Sundays we'll have no break until 28. No, today is 21st, right? So we'll have no break until 19th of. Yeah. Oh, May 12th we'll not. Oh, Mother's Day. Yes, we'll not have that day. Correct. So we'll have it on the 28th, then May 5th. So let me complete this.